is. You know, you are more angry with us. Àwọn bàbá yín tó wà ní 60, àwọn ìyá yín tó wà ní 50, tó sì ń support àwọn politics. Àwọn lẹ́yìn kẹlọ́ máa làǹkan mọ́ lórí náà, kò ń ṣàwà. Ó ṣe jẹ́ mi ni ẹ wá fi máa kanra mọ́. Èèyàn kan ti sọ nísìn, mo rí kan nísìn, kò dẹ̀ lè gbójú ẹ̀ jáde. Ó ní you no dey tire. Bàbá ẹ̀ no dey tire, ọmọ àlè. Bàbá ẹ̀ ni kò ní tire. Olóṣì. Àwọn ọmọ ìrankíran. Àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n ní lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kankan. Bàbá yín títí tó fi kú kò rí ìtọ́jú ní Nàìjíríà. Ìyá yín tó fi kú kò rí ìtọ́jú ní Nàìjíríà. Ó ní you no dey tire. Tí bá tire kó wá nà mí lẹ́gbà. Bomb bastard. I live in a very small, very, very beautiful place, not too expensive. I've been here for 25 years. My life is better. Mo sọ fún yín pé life yín ò better. Ó ní you no dey tire, ó lè ṣì. Ṣé mi ní ilé ẹ̀kí ń táyà àbí wọlé ẹ̀kú táyà? Ìyá mi Abọ́sẹ̀dé, good morning. Ṣé mi ilé ẹ̀kí ń táyà àbí wọlé ẹ̀kú táyà? Àmàlà gan nísìnyí lè jẹ́ àmàlà tó jẹ́ the cheapest in Gary. Wọ́n maltreat yín ní Nàìjíríà. Àwa ń jáde, à ń jà fún yín. Ẹ sọ pé you need a tire. Bàbá ẹ ló máa táyà olùlọ́ṣẹ́ ọmọ. Àwọn tó lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, àwọn tó ń jí owó yín, ẹ lè lọ bá wọn kẹ́ bínú sí wọn gan. Dezeni lágbára Ọlọ́run. Kódà torí Dezeni gangan mo ṣe fẹ́ lọ sí magistrate court ní next week. Kódà mo ní stream láti ta, mo máa wọnú ilé. Àlàáfíà ni atẹ́gùn yẹn pọ̀ gan níta. Ẹ mọ̀ pé winter ti fẹ́ dé. So tátẹ́gùn yẹn bá ti ń pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ winter ti fẹ́ dé nìyẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbé gbogbo jákẹ́ẹ̀tì tẹ́ ń rí, a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń wọ̀ bí bàbá Suwe. So Dezeni mo máa wọnú court, mo fẹ́ lọ rí ojú ẹni tó tẹ̀ ń pè ní Dezeni yẹn. A ti charge ẹ̀, ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ charge wọ̀ ó dìgbà tó bá parí case la máa mọ̀ bí ó wà guilty. Tó bá ti wà guilty, tó bá dẹ̀ wà guilty, but for now a ti charge ẹ̀. So there's a limit to what I can say on that case. We're telling you that the system is so corrupt and it has actually damaged the lives of many of you. Ìkan wọ́n ní ó ní you no dey tire. Ṣé mi lẹ́yìn kó máa sọ pé you no dey tire? Owó láàárọ̀ yìí nísìn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà kò ní host AFCON? Kí ló tẹ̀ ń pè ní AFCON yẹn kò sí wọn? Ẹ jẹ́ lọ Google ẹ̀. Èyí tẹ́ wà lórí KOIKI Media lágbára Ọlọ́run tó bá ti di 11 like I said, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bá wa lọ sí orí backup channel wa. Mo ti wà live lórí ẹ̀ báyìí. Màá share link yẹn. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to disconnect that. Okay, African Cup of Nations. Can you imagine? Ẹ ṣe gan ni bá èmi wà gbóńṣe gbogbo kan náà làwa náà mọ̀. Ìmí tá a bá mọ̀ á gbé lọ sórí Ifá kí Ifá bá wa sọ. Mo kí gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kan sí. When I'm talking, ẹ má fi anger tèmi pé ẹ̀yin ni mò ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. I am just talking to àwọn tó ṣe wà blockhead. Because even if you disagree with Intanso, the question you should ask yourself is, how much more I need before a better country? Okay, fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, agreed. But you should also have a better country. Ṣé mo right? Okay, fẹ́ Biafra, fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, agreed. But you should have a better country. Ṣé wọ́n ní kẹ́ máa ní better life ni? How do you expect to be coming on the social media and be pleading for people to give you money? Ìjọba ọ̀rẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà, ó wà ní Canada, ìmí gan tó wà ní Turkey gan, ẹ̀ ń béèrè owó lọ́wọ́ ẹni tó wà ní Turkey. Inflation tó wà lọ́wọ́ Turkey, mo bá Ọmọlúkà àti my sister were in a conference called Yorùbáwùyí, ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ ní láti Montana discuss, it's not for public consumption, àti Bàbá Èkìtì, we were talking behind the scene. Wọ́n sọ fún Ọmọlúkà pé ṣó mọ inflation tó wà nínú Turkey, ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún yín ní inflation tó wà ní Turkey. But the fact is that they still have a better life than many of you in Nigeria. The inflation in Turkey, according to the statistic, according to the trading economics, ẹ mọ̀ pé gbogbo nǹkan gbọ́dọ̀ ní ibi tá a ti máa fún yín ní the right source. A gbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ̀rọ̀ níbi táwa dé ní sìkàkọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ without giving you a right source. Ẹ ṣe gan ni Mr. Simple, only African Cup of Nations. Nigeria lost to Morocco. Why should Nigeria not be able to host it? And kò sí ní security. Kò sí security. Tó bá dẹ̀ gbèrú event yẹn wá, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí nísìn, kódà bó bá jẹ́ pé mo ní ọmọ African Cup of Nations bọ̀, kí la lè sáré jọ ṣe? Ó dà Mr. Koiki, kí lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ pa lè ṣe? Ó dà bí akákọ̀ tàn kankan, ká ṣe souvenir kékeré kan, kí invest 1 million, kí n dẹ̀ rí 1 million mi padà, kí n dẹ̀ rọra rí 500,000 lé lórí. Ìtàn pè ní business nìyẹn. Wàláì tí bá fún ẹ ní 1 million yẹn àti 1 million àti wọ́ fúnra rẹ gan, mo lè má rí ẹ mọ́. Ta ni máa wá mú? Ìlú tó ní data. A lot of risk ni gbogbo one take pẹ̀lẹ́ ìtẹ̀ wà nílé nígbà míì because mọ́ra wa délẹ̀. Kò sí data. tó bá gbówó yẹn sá lọ ta ni máa wá lọ bá. And that is why there's so much problem. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí orí Turkey while I'm preparing again because mo ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ too much nísìn. You know, actually that you are on.
But if you want to do your way across into
àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yé nísìn, right? Inflation Turkey is 47.8. tó o bá mọ tán pè bẹ́ẹ̀, that shows pé poverty tó wà nù ìlú yẹn nísìn it get as it be. But do you know what? Ará Turkey ní àwọn tí ń pè ní Turkey wọ́n ti change orúkọ wọn. They can still be able to eat at least a bread, cheese and tomato. They play. Bí èmi nìyà ń jẹ ni, bí ẹ̀yin nìyà ń jẹ ni. Mo gbọ́ fídíò bọ̀bọ̀ kan lánàá. Màá play fídíò yẹn nísìnyí kó lè fún mi ní room láti sáré post àwọn nǹkan tá a fi sọ̀rọ̀ lórí láàárọ̀ yìí. This is coming from the Department of Force Intelligence ní Nàìjíríà. But ẹ jẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́ bí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ṣe sọ fúnra rẹ̀. Ẹ lè enjoy it. It's about 9 minutes. Màá dé máa kọ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin méjì ẹ̀ kí n kàn fi ní time láti sáré push nǹkan tó ní pé bá Archie sọ láàárọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn sọ. Ibi tí gbọ́ lánàá, but ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ báyìí ti gbọ́ ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan tí bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn sọ.
Is an information coming from the Department of Force Intelligence. Yes, a department of Nigerian Police Force. This is the Force Intelligence. And if you are in Nigeria, or whether you are here or outside here, as far as you have people who still travel by road, people when they use their car travel from state to state, from place to place, people when they enter buses, Ekele Dilichuku, God is good, Big Joe, all this motto when they move from state to state, people when they use coaches, people when they use buses. Even if you are not in Nigeria, if you have anybody in Nigeria who still uses this means of transportation, will not be air, I beg you, share this video, save this video and send it to them. If possible, explain to them in your local language what I'm about to share with you. Because the fact that Nigeria Police, the intelligence unit, share this information should tell you a lot more than whatever I'm telling you now. They say Nigeria is facing serious security challenges. So, if you must...
Did you hear that word? DG, ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa mo kí gbogbo yín àgbàlagbà. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí mi jókòó sí ìwà and disrespect any one of you. And I'm just even saying that even after tí kíní bá host it tán, mo ṣe ń rí nísìnyí professor rẹ̀ lórí ní orí STARR Radio láàárọ̀. Morocco will host it in 2025. Okay, ká tẹ̀ sọ pé wọ́n fi fún Nàìjíríà. Why not give it to Nigeria to host it in 2027? Do you know where it is going? Remember at the beginning of this program, I asked a question. Many of you did not respond. Money, where would you invest? Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, and Uganda. Do you know that Uganda and Kenya will host the same AFCON in 2027, and even Tanzania? So 3 countries are expected to host it. Why are they avoiding Nigeria? Is Nigeria not a good place to come and do that kind of event? You think when they are looking around and thinking about Nigeria, they will look at all the factors. They will look at all the factors. And blame. We are not blaming you as a Nigerian. We are blaming the system that have deprived us. It's only Nigeria. I'm right in front of me on my screen. It is the chief executive of Edinburgh International Festival. On give a report. Lórí BBC. Power journalist news in the daily. Gbogbo nu lé mi news ni. Ìyàwó mi ti accept mi, ọmọ mi ti accept, kọ́ lọ́ba ń dúró tí wọ́n kọ́ accept mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Because ìyẹn gbọ́dọ̀ ní àwọn ìyàwó àtọmọ tó dúró tíyàn dáadáa. Torí pé if not, iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe àní lè ṣe. There will be conflict of interest. Because ojoojúmọ́ ni mò ń disturb wọn nínú ilé. Mr. Peter and Nigerians are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Àwọn ìbò yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. Mo kí gbogbo ilé ẹ̀kan sí. So don't think that we are attacking you as Nigerian. No, we are attacking the people. Mori Wike àti Gbajabiamila, ó lè ní Gbajabiamila. He's a criminal. Because owó tó yẹ kó fún èmi ti gba owó insurance nílùú Erin. Mọ́tò kan gbá mọ́tò mi. Mo yẹ̀ wò tẹ̀lé náà. Around BRB 206 or 207, I can't remember. Wọ́n san payout gidi fún mi. Kẹwàá imagine kí lọ́ọ̀yà tó yẹ kó fún mi lówó yẹn. In tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Gbajabiamila ó lè nìyẹn, ó lè ní. Bọ́ ẹ lọ sí gbogbo Surulere nísìn, wọ́n máa ní Gbaja, ó lè ní Gbaja. Owó tó jí yẹn ló fi wá ṣe politics ní Nàìjíríà. òun àti Wike wọ́n náà ń ṣe ọbẹ̀ inú gbogbo àwọn yẹn wá ń dùn. Wike ní at least I give them something to talk about. Tèmi mi náà ti ń sọ nísìn ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sí máa yẹn because I only have 5 minutes to join the Star Radio. But tèmi nǹkan tí Amẹ́ríkà sọ tí mo sọ lánàá òun ni bọ̀bọ́ yìí náà ń sọ. Police Nàìjíríà ló ń advice yín nísìn ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré gbọ́ because it's about 9 minutes mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ fún yín náà as an advice okay platform tiwa we want to give you advice mo kí bàbá Kẹ́hìndé so let me shut up and keep my mouth shut because ẹ̀bọ̀ tá a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà mí gan you have to lose ẹ ká ṣáà gbọ́ nǹkan tó fẹ́ sọ while I prepare for my own program.
Do an interstate travel, please note the following. 1. Schedule it between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Don't leave too early. Don't be caught in the late hours. 2. Remove titles from your phone contacts. Example, on way the service store name for bragging purpose. Honorable, Alhaji,
Okay.
Chief, Inspector, military ranks, and in general, do not displace your ID card. You see, if you travel, you can't hand your ID. They can't say you work for NNPC, you work for all these companies where they stop it. Number 3, while driving, focus on the road and ensure that every 5 to 7 minutes there is a traffic on the returning lane. Let's say, for instance, you are going right, people they come from left. If you notice that road, other road dry, people know they move.
You better take this advice, especially those of you in Nigeria.
Make sure you see motor coming before you proceed. There could be a danger ahead.
Okay.
Number 4, try not to exceed 100 kilometers per hour so you can make your judgments timely. It will also help you look out for traps and appreciate the terrain. Overspeeding in every sense is bad. So 100 kilometers per hour is wise. Why? Because if, for instance, you suspect that people different, if you might brake, your car is still under control. You can reverse and run. But if you don't do speed, if you might brake, say you can even get accident where you could tumble. That will even lead to a death instead of kidnapping. Now, number 5, if you can, please don't use tinted sheets on your car. It passes a message to the bandits and criminal element that you are a VIP.
Take this advice. I am begging you. Nigeria. Don't joke with it.
As far as you get the potential to bring big ransom, you are a target. Uniform men and women, they know they waste time at all. Either they kidnap them or they kill them instantly. Be wise. Number 6, make sure you always have a spare tire, plug, and fuel pump in your car. Don't ignore this because your motor will spoil anywhere. And imagine say your motor spoil, people come meet you there, you don't even have a chance at all. Easy catch. Now, number 7, even if you are not the one driving, put your phone away and keep your eyes on the road to help driver identify approaching threats. Me, I did very good at this one. If you follow person drive, don't think it's the driver's business alone.
It's everybody's
you know
business.
That sometimes your driver might even be sleeping.
Barely.
Maybe
I said back on.
Now you will look say, okay, no, your eye. Sometimes engage.
Emma Bino is my system. This system is really messing me up now. I don't go the better system. System it is shit. Anyway, you've got a bit of gist of what the guy was saying. All I can advise everyone is take precaution. There's nothing we can do. We can only continue to tell your government to do the needful and make sure that you have opportunities, but you yourself be very, very security conscious. Be very, very security conscious. It is extremely important that you take your security serious. Don't joke. Nigeria is becoming a very, very... People are desperate. Everyone is desperate. Don't joke. So take your security, serious. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní tẹ́ pinnu estate lẹ́gbẹ́ ẹ bá ti ń ṣe àwọn meetings ní tẹ́ máa ń ṣe yẹn ẹ make sure pé ẹ emphasize àwọn tó ń guide yín ní inú estate. They must not take things for granted. Everybody is a suspect. That is why ìlú yìí tí bá gbogbo sì máa ṣí window kò sí tó kàn mí, but I just want to be sure that whatever it is ó lè má mean anything ó lè jẹ́ lé after 2 weeks ọlọ́pàá lè wá kúnlẹ̀ kò pé did you hear anything? And like how? Ọlọ́pàá máa fún any timeline. It was around 11. The children have gone to school. There were some noises and all that. Oh, yes, I opened my window. I'm a Soyinbo Africa. Yeah, me, I saw people with a fight. Say, what did you see? Ọlọ́pàá, I'ma take note. And they will now use that to build a case. Most of it crime one in Louis. How can a 17 years old pa omo? I mean, even I have to be very careful because it confirmed but again, a 17 years old has been detained. Omo 15 years old, tó múra nílé, tó wẹ̀, tó ń lọ sí school, tó bọ́lẹ̀ lórí bus, tó dẹ̀ stabẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ ṣe kí ni? Ó ti di ẹni tí ọba Ẹlẹ́dùmarè sọ pé kó máa padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ òun. So kò ń ṣe ọ̀dọ́ yín nìkan ni problem wà. There is a lot of problems here as well. Kọ́lọ̀ ń dúró ti àwọn family yẹn. Ọmọ tíyan nurse títí dé 15 years old. Ìyẹn làwọn kan máa ní àwọn tó bá ń ṣe prayer ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa ṣe prayer wọn because ìtọ́ lè fi protect àwọn ọmọ nìyẹn. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ nípa ìṣẹ̀ṣe fi protect àwọn ọmọ ẹ. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ nípa àwọn àfáà fi protect àwọn ọmọ ẹ. That is why we are being told that as much as that is not the only problem, but ta ló pray pé kó bímọ kọ́mọ ẹ wá ṣe kíni kó wá dẹni tí odológun. It's a very sad situation, extremely sad. So I must switch around because it's 11 o'clock. KOIKI Media, we will have to cut you off now. The link for the backup channel is currently right in the comment section. I don't know what is going on. My system is not completely, it's not functioning. System is overwork. So enough for láti fi rà mí. Need a new brand new one. Anyway, I gotta stop this one. Backup channel. If you don't know the backup channel by now, that means you are not really following, the platform as well. You need to charge it. So let me quickly charge it. You need to switch this. It's 11 o'clock. We're going to go on STARR Radio and do what I do best, which is, talking to people. That's what I love to do best. So Katulo Sonic by Nigeria there. And I hope everything works this morning. Because sometimes I need technical glitch. And if you accept Nigeria to any technical problem, I need to reset it. And if you reset it, so why everybody might get breakfast. So but all the kind of majelo mayatoni. So KOIKI Media, like I say, to be able to continue with the program. So let me turn my camera off here and switch this to the STARR Radio. And Latilo join the backup channel. That is if not Tabakbari, I'll upload it. Sorry, Facebook. We have told you that we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, that is it that way. So it's just to encourage you all to help us to push, the platform. Let about push it. That push it. So there subscribe, follow it. Nobody will be able to know that we are there. So you just come out and say, nígbà tí KOIKI Media channel gangan bá di pé gbọ́ wa mọ́ láti bẹ̀ kí lè máa ṣe ẹni KOIKI àti mọ ẹnu ló ń dán láti joy kò ṣe Yorùbá Nation mọ́.
Well, it's short. This is from Pastor Theodore Abuachansa, and it says, "You reign." Who reigns? God reigns. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned.
KOIKI Media backup. I can see you there. Thank you so much. You've moved from the other platform here. We appreciate you. So let's go back, and then I'll be joining now. You'll be seeing my screen coming up as I join the studio. Thank you. Radio station.
STARR Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 7 minutes by the top of the hour. You Reign by Pastor Tudora Boachiansa, all the way in Oxfordshire. Pearly Gates Church. And I salute each and every one of you there as well. But it is the Thursday edition of the morning show. And I've got the singular honor to welcome once again my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi KOIKI. Just bear with me. I seem not to be seeing him. But just bear with me. I'll be working on that. STARR Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time to what? 8 minutes past the top of the hour. And let's take a quick commercial break whilst I get Yomi's screen on. So just bear with me, don't you go away.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for STARR, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on STARR Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Are you looking for the fast? Okay, listeners, just bear with me. We're going to just do something. Yomi, just a minute. I'm going to restart something, so just bear with me, all right? Your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time. You are not sure. Well, Lamb shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Tune in to On Point here on Star Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. Let's see whether we can get Yomi's image back on. There seem to be a few incidents here and there, but just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let me just try to see whether I can get Mr. Olayomi KOIKI now. Okay, let's see. Okay, whilst the system is trying to reboot there, let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. Okay, just bear with us. Just bear with us. All right. Okay. I think he will definitely call us back. It's not available, so he will definitely call us back. But wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. STARR Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, when it comes to the issues that we're going to be discussing this morning, food prices jumped by 31%, says the NBS. What the NBS? We're telling you more about what their moves are, or what they are doing, and why they reckon that having that percentage rise in food prices is actually affecting Nigerians as a whole. But what do you think? What do you think? We want to know what you actually think about this particular situation. It is STARR Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, on the Thursday edition of the morning show. I am Archie, and just bear with us. So let's see whether we can get Yomi now. Okay, whilst we wait for Yomi, let's take this quick social announcement and then we go on. The family, the Christian community, friends and loved ones of the late Apostle Mark Nyako and Mrs. Victoria Nyako wishes to invite friends and loved ones and all sympathizers to a one-week observation at the Numa Christian Center, 87 Beddington Lane, Croydon, postcode CR04TD. The event will take place on Friday, the 6th of October, 2023, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Buses 466 and 463 ply that route. And if you want to travel on a tram, the Beddington Lane is a stop for you. Also, there's going to be free parking there. For further information, please contact Evelyn on 075 5483 8421. Kojo 073 7592 8737. Or Sheila on 079 8358 1818. Come and mourn with us, even as we celebrate the lives of the late Apostle Mark Nyako and Mrs. Victoria Nyako. God bless you and see you all there. Hey, listeners, just bear with me. Yomi says he can't see me. Yomi says he can't see me. And I'm having a challenge there trying to see him as well. But just bear with me. I don't know. But let's see whether he can hear me. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So why is your image not showing? Oh yeah, my God. Okay. Let's go on whilst I get the team to be working behind the scenes. Listeners, Star Radio UK, Mr. Olayomi KOIKI, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Yomi, how are you and how is the family?
Well, we're doing very well. The family is very well as well. We're grateful, and I hope yours are doing great as well.
Yeah. Doing great, but just worried about what happened yesterday here, the stabbings that took place, and it's a very sad one in the communities here. Traffic and all that stuff still going on. It's crazy, but well, it's one of those things. We thank God that we are still alive, though. Yes. Yesterday, let's go straight to the Niger Voices. It was another smash of a program, but for the sake of those who didn't join the program, can you please give us a sneak view of what was discussed there, please?
Well, we talked about mostly focus on the NLC and the TUC 48 hours after the independent, which is coming up on Sunday. Nigeria will be on a complete shutdown because of the indefinite strike. That seems to be still going ahead. We're going to be talking about that a little bit this morning as well. But it seems that the president is not back to Nigeria. Maybe that is the reason why there is a kind of a delay between, the NLC. So Niger Voices yesterday was more of asking the questions surrounding the Nigerian Labour Congress. Are they going to be fruitful this time around? We've seen that it hasn't been the Nigerian Labour Congress, and most of us, grew up to see how active they've been. But it seems that this time around, we will have to see the test of time between the new administration. We went further to talk about some other areas when it comes to the new CBN. The new CBN has now been confirmed by the Senate. The question is, what is he going to do differently from Emefiele? Then we went straight into the self-determination of the indigenous people and the reason why, the self-determination is still a push. And as we were waiting for the signal from the leader of the Yoruba self-determination campaign groups, Professor Banji Akintoye, he spoke yesterday, but even though we couldn't get the signal in time before we actually ended the program, but we will be giving more on that later on in the next program next week. But he spoke for about 30 minutes on the Yoruba World Media and also all other media from the Yoruba home-based media and the other independent media as well. But one of the message that I grabbed from the conversation yesterday while he was presenting, because many Nigerians are saying that the Yorubas are probably not really interested anymore as those that wanted the indigenous people to leave Nigeria because of the current administration, because he's from Southwest. I'm talking about the president Bola Tinubu, but the leader of the Yoruba self-determination insisted consistently that yes, Bola Tinubu has the right to be the president, but he hasn't been a president for the Yoruba people. He's a president for Nigeria. Communication will continue with the current administration, just like it was done with the previous administration. But the point that he actually stressed on, we are in this struggle to win. It does not matter how long it will take. Also, we talked about, the other woman that we brought onto the program on Niger Voices sometime around June, if I remember, Chief Mrs. Buduko Onitiri. She actually said she declared the Yoruba nation under a name called Ominira 2022. That again is a complete false, is a lie. And the reason for that is, in journalism, you should be able to differentiate who is telling lies as against who is actually giving you the right information. When we've asked her to give us the evidence of this declaration, all she has pointed us is we should go to the YouTube channel where it has been declared, and that is a fact that she has. They've also cooked up a particular story. Can you still hear me back in the studio?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, because my camera is freezing, that's why. She also went further to say that she sent an ambassador at large to the United Nations Complete General Assembly. When we went to do a cross-checking, The young man the man that went there didn't talk about Ominira. He actually talked about a different name. But he hasn't attended the 78th General Assembly. He must have attended another event. United Nations, or the UN rather, is a big organization that has different events that been, across the year. What the man known as Faleti Stephen went for was what we call the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And they've actually used that to tell the Yoruba people that they've actually declared, that he has gone to represent the Yoruba people. And just to finish it off, we talked about the Biafra, which we talked in the morning. What is Bola Tinubu going to do differently as Buhari and Osibajo that kidnapped and rendition Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria? All these were part of what was packed up in the Niger Voices yesterday. But next week, we will continue again.
Well, listeners, my sincere apologies for you not seeing Yomi's face, but let's continue with the conversation whilst Mr. Francis Guy tries to work on that. Pastor Mo, let me say good morning to you. It's been quite a while, and I hope you are doing very, very well. God bless you too. All right, then. Now, it's quite interesting pertaining to what was discussed pertaining to the NLC's indefinite strike, whether we were asking whether it was a bluff. But has the government actually made any further move from what we saw them making? Because we know that the president is not in town. So what is going to happen then?
Well, you would expect that, the president should be the one in charge. If the country is going on an indefinite strike, whatever he's doing in France, he must leave that and return back home. He has actually left New York. The reason why he went out of Nigeria, he announced he was going to United Nations General Assembly, but because as African leaders, they try to hide a lot of things. We know that he has gone for medical treatment. It's just a fact. But these are not going to be told to Nigerians, just as Buhari spent so much time. The president was there as at the time, and then after the whole event, he stayed back. The question is, can the vice president handle, the situation between the NLC and also the federal government? Will Bola Tinubu, the president, return back in time? He has more time. It's currently in France. It's just less than 8 hours maximum to return back to Nigeria. So we hope he will be on the ground in time to resolve the current situation between the NLC and as well the federal government. But the headline this morning goes ahead and says, the labor union has now again faulted the federal government meeting, insists on the indefinite strike.
So, well, if they are still insisting on the indefinite strike, then, well, we know that the president has to make his way home. But maybe he has trust in Shetima, that Shetima can see to resolve whatever thing that is going on. But I don't know. We've not seen him much in that particular office doing things like that yet. So we hope to see. But interestingly, the price of food has gone up by 31%. And this is a case where we're talking about, individuals or Nigerian citizens that they don't have even the increment that they've got so far. Those who are working in the government sector, which now, virtually those who are also in the private sector look to either match it or whatever, have not had 31% increment in their wages. So how are people going to be able to cope with that? Yomi?
Well, when it comes to the high food prices in Nigeria today, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, Ebonyi and Abia State lead as food prices jump from 31% within 12 months. We're talking about from July last year till July this year. This is coming, according to the analysis of the Selected Food Price Watch. This is a report that is published monthly, basis by the National Bureau of Statistics. We're going to give you some data to work with for those that are listening to us. The selected food items include staples such as the rice, 1 bag, 1 kg, beans, 1 kg, bread, 500 grams, tomato, beans, and wheat, 2 kg, gari, 1 kg, and the palm oil. According to the report, the highest food price increase was recorded in the price of yam, which actually jumped by 42% from 389 naira 75 kobo in 2022 July to now 539 naira 41 kobo in 2023. This was closely followed by the price of 1 kilogram of rice, which increased from 467 naira 80 kobo to 653 naira 49 kobo. The question is, how is this new administration going to slow down the cost of food prices that is going up continuously? Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba, talked about many businesses. I didn't know that, but again, it's just the fact that we do not have enough of what we use to produce what we need. Cement is a lot of consumption for many builders around Nigeria, but there are some certain products that you need to bring into the country to make it become that cement and to be used and to be sold. The question is, according to the professor said yesterday, Nigerians are no longer guaranteed credit note from any other countries around the world when it comes to buying products outside. As the food price continues to go up, how is the government going to slow it down? Because already, remember that we talked about the World Bank last week saying that the problem between Nigeria and Niger means that 8 more million people will be added to the existing millions of Nigerians that are already in the poverty line.
Well, listeners, it's quite an interesting and a difficult time. Just bear with us. I'll send you me what is happening. I think there need to be an update, but we can't do any update at the moment. If we do update, we stop the broadcast, so we'll have to just go on with that. Okay, so now, if have they, those, the NBS who was, making that analysis or bringing that information across. Now, what do they perceive are the causes of this food shortage?
Well, the causes varies. Remember that most of the farmers are struggling to get their produce out of the farm. If not, most of them, the farm produce have been damaged due to the insecurity. Benue State, there's a lot of problem from that side. In the northern part, there's the problem of the climate that is also having a big impact. But the biggest impact is due to the fact that many Nigerians are not getting the kind of support that they need from the state level, and that means that we will see more prices going up as Christmas is getting closer in less than 3 months.
Well, now are they? What do you think? Maybe the president is in the influx of rice from Benin, because if that comes into the market, the price will drop because there's not going to be scarcity. We have enough rice on the market. Then the price will drop some way, somehow. It's not a permanent thing I'm talking about, because you want to protect the local farmers who at the moment are not able to go to their farms because of all these kidnappings and the killings that seem to be going on. So what do you think government will have to do there?
Well, you're quite right. Would this new administration work differently when it comes to the former president that actually locked the border because of the influx of the rice, like you talked about, and other products coming into the country? Definitely, I think growing the local rice would have been the best option, but you must be able to give enough. And part of what they're expecting is the Dangote refinery will be able to do more fertilizer as well, because we need those fertilizer to be able to produce more of what we need. But the question is, if this new administration is really, really honest, when it comes to supporting farmers, the first thing is knowing that the word bandit or farmer herders crisis is not the right word. They must be identified as terrorists, and when terrorists are operating, you must also remember that it is not just kidnapping. Food security is one of the biggest threats in mankind.
Of course. And that's when we have people here, some people who think that because maybe they came from an impoverished home or whatever country, and now things are going on very well with them, they think that, well, anybody who comes here shouldn't be allowed to and all that stuff. I don't say that people should just illegally come in and all that. No. But people given the fair chance to apply, and then because when there is no food for your children, and then you need to move on to another country, because you cannot sit down to say that you are looking at your children to be hungry and die. No, that's why people move, and that's why when our leaders sit down and think that everything is all right because they are sitting in the presidential palaces or in their nice homes, driving their nice cars and having their whatever businesses, and virtually siphoning the funds of the state, then I get so angry. I get angry and I call for all sorts to happen. But people think that at times I'm going bonkers, but I'm not. I know people agree with me.
But you're quite right. I think, when we talk about, the crises of the problems, most of the time, something that we are probably against, the current administration, or we are not. Yes, we are concerned because we have our loved ones that are hungry, they need to be taken care of. And if you go back again, April this year, the Nigeria annual inflation rose to 2-digit, 22.22. The previous month, as the price of food continued to rise, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. And if you think from April to now, things would have changed, but rather the inflation has remained elevated in what is called the Africa biggest economy. But as we know that is African biggest economy, takes us straight to the next conversation. How come Nigeria lost the bid to AFCON for the 2025 AFCON? Nigeria is not going to even be hosting it in 2027. Kenya and the other countries will be hosting it. These might have to do with the food security, but most importantly, the security itself in the country.
Wow. It's quite. It is true there, because they will look at it that if you cannot actually cater for your own people, then how do we bring people into the country that we need to protect, and how do you even deal with them? So I agree with you 100%.
And Nigeria actually had a joint bid with Republic of Benin, but has failed to sail through, as the Confederation of the African Football CAF has announced Morocco as the next host. Nigerian joint bid with the Republic of Benin has failed to sail through, as the Confederation announced Morocco as the host for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, while Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania has been named the joint host. I was asking this morning before coming on air, where will you invest your country, invest your money? Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa, or Uganda? It seems many people have chosen Kenya as the best destination for investment.
Wow. So maybe Morocco is hosting in 2025, and then 2027 Uganda, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania are hosting it. Maybe in 2030, hopefully, things might have calmed down, and then Nigeria and Ghana can host it. We are brothers, aren't we? Well,
that's if the economy of Ghana can still hold on to that.
Listen, let's start already, okay. Now, let me bring you this one, which you've not captured yet, but it's an ongoing row between the former president, Obasanjo, and Afenifere leaders. Now, Pan Yoruba Social Political Organization Afenifere has lashed out at the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, for disrespecting traditional rulers in Oyo State by ordering them to stand up and sit down. They said there was an event in Oyo State where when Obasanjo and Governor Seyi Makinde were entering the place, he told the traditional leaders to stand up and then told them to sit down. Now, some people have been calling Obasanjo enemy of the Yoruba nation or Yoruba group. Now, can you tell us a bit about that, Yomi?
Well, many Yoruba people doesn't even believe that he's a Yoruba man, because I think that Obasanjo's mother was the Yoruba, the father is from the southeast, and but he has lived most of his life as a Yoruba. He actually talked about being Nigerianness as against his Yorubaness. Maybe that is why he actually disrespected, the royal fathers. What was the reason for that? We don't have the audio clip here, but it was in the local language. But what he actually said during opening of some, construction work that are completed by the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde. Obasanjo is an elder statesman, was invited, but he actually told the royal fathers, if they were not even in the public, we would have probably said this was in the very private place. This was in the open public with glaring cameras and all kind of different medias, and he actually told them to stand up and sit down. That was why many Yoruba people are now questioning that, this particular man is not even the man from the Yoruba side, because you will never see anyone speak to the others. Afenifere, as you talked about, the social PAN group in Yoruba, the PAN Social, Yoruba Social Political Organization, has now asked the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, over this incident that took place around the 15th of September, where he actually rebuked the traditional rulers They are now ordering them to stand up and sit down. A lot of music have come out of that. A lot of mimic have come around that. But the question now is, this has gone a little bit of reaction in the Yoruba people, and Afenifere is now asking Obasanjo to apologize. You would think that Obasanjo would have done so 10 days ago, but Obasanjo is very, very adamant. He hasn't come out to apologize.
Well, he's not come out to apologize. Is it the reason why he's not standing for the quest of the Yoruba nation, where they think that we have to have or be on our own? So if he is respecting the leadership, or the royals that we look out to there, then somebody will say, yeah, even your own leadership is disrespecting them. So what about the ordinary person? But listeners, we want to have your comments on that. It is STARR Radio UK, bringing the time now to 11:37. My sincere apologies for those of you who would have loved to see Mr. Olayomi KOIKI's face, but please just bear with us. If we want to do that now, we have to restart the whole system, but just bear with us. Now, we thought that maybe Tinubu's quest to the Chicago courts or the U.S. courts might have stopped the request by Atiku to get his transcript and certificate or whatever things pertaining to the Chicago University. But it looks like that's not happening. But Atiku is planning fresh suit against Tinubu. Tell us more about that, Yomi.
Well, like I said, whatever is in that Chicago result or whoever was there, Atiku is now, like you said, the legal team of the People's Democratic Party and the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has filed a motion to challenge President Bola Tinubu's plea for Chicago State University not to release its privileged document in its academic record. A special advisor to Atiku on the public communication, Shuaibu, spoke that the legal team had up to 48 hours to respond to the motion. Last week was when the Nigerians and Atiku team were expected to get their hands on this document. I believe Chicago has prepared a document. They're just waiting for the court to give the go-ahead. And it seems that Thursday last week, things were pushed again as Tinubu continued to use whatever means from his legal team to stop Atiku because that is going to create bad image for him. But the magistrate Jeffrey Gilbert last week ordered Tinubu matter to provide all relevant but a non-privileged document to the applicant within 2 days. That is still the question. Will the new woman looking into the case allow Atiku to this? We would have to wait a little bit more. But it seems many Nigerians are now asking, what is President Bola Tinubu literally hiding from whatever was there in Chicago? Some have now advised, if you have to be in a university or polytechnic or technical school, make sure you have your record in details because it might fight you in the years ahead.
Well, for Nigerian leaders, the past and the present one, there is some of the past one said he couldn't find his certificates. This one just says I can't let them release the transcript to you. So it's quite an interesting one there. Let's see. Maybe we'll ask what we call Obasanjo to get them to do it. Do the diligence to that. But listeners, STARR Radio UK. Before I let Yomi bring you the rest of the stories, the DSS have arrested Shiites. A spokesman Musa has said. Do you have any information pertaining to that, sir?
Not at the present. I don't have any details of such at the moment. But we'll see if we can find anything around that, and I'll let us know should we bring anything around that area. Yeah, okay. Let me bring you a sneak view of what they are saying. This official of the Department of State Services have arrested spokesman for the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, known as Shiites, Ibrahim Musa, with his family and associates, demanding his immediate release. Now, Musa, who is the editor-in-chief of the Al-Mizan newspaper, was reportedly weeks away yesterday by the DSS at Malam Aminu Kano International Airport in Kano. Al-Mizan, a weekly news magazine published in Hausa, also issued a statement yesterday announcing the arrest of its editor by the DSS. We'll be telling you more about that as and when we have more information pertaining to that. Yomi, thank you very much. Now, let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, sir. Well, we go back again to Ondo State. We now can confirm that the reason why they are trying to bring down the deputy chairman from the new update coming, the field or the problem between Akeredolu and his deputy. It's all about the 2024 governorship election. That is coming from one of the headlines, this morning as we go into what is happening in the business area this morning. Women demand more roles in the maritime sector is one of the headlines. Marketers urge federal government to address rising gas prices. The Nigerian Association of the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers has called on the federal government to find ways to ensure stability of the gas prices and make it available to the common Nigerians. So we hope, the government will be looking into that. Let's touch more on business and then prepare to go into what is happening. Oil price climbed to $95 per barrel, but as many Nigerians know that we do not have the capacity to refine this, and this is one of the major reasons why the NLC insists that they will go ahead with the indefinite strike. Nigerians continue to subsidize it until the new administration came in and say we can no longer subsidize it because we don't have such money. Once again, human capital development will curb brain drain unemployment. Many Nigerians are moving out of Nigeria while those in Nigeria are trying to find out what they can do when it comes to either working in the private or the public sector or setting up their own businesses as well. But the Nigerian Economy Summit Group has now stressed the need for the public and the private sector stakeholders to promote and ensure human capital development. This was in a statement from the group. So many statements I've read, so many statements we have been told, so many meetings, but the question is what becomes the end of these? It's all talk show. But let's hope this time around, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group will do at exactly what they are saying. The statement actually came from the chairperson of the Central Organized Committee, Amina Minor, stressed the need for the country to find a way to retain its best brains. Well, I'm sure many Nigerians would love to remain in Nigeria and help Nigeria, but when even the president has not returned back to Nigeria 6 days, Tinubu departed United Nations Summit in New York, but he has been unable to return back to Nigeria. 6 days after leaving New York in the United States, where he attended the 78th United Nations General Assembly, President Bola Tinubu has still not made it back to Nigeria, leaving Nigerians wondering about his whereabouts and stoking up rumors that the president does not consider himself as being accountable to the people as he was elected to serve. Mr. Tinubu arrived in New York on the 18th of September, departed the U.S. last Thursday around 8:25 p.m. local time using the JFK airport. He has so far failed to even communicate his itinerary. I mean, imagine Rishi Sunak not returning back after the UN and we don't know where he is. I'm sure he'll probably have to prepare his resignation before returning back. But since this is Africa, and many Nigerians are probably more concerned about attacks on those that want a better Nigeria. A pattern are all too similar to all of his predecessors. Muhammadu Buhari was used to extending stay outside the country, but this time around, we are not even getting any message from the spokesman of the president, Ajuri Ngelale. And I'm sure by the time he comes back, he's going to phantom something to Nigerians. So let's move straight again. This is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we continue to monitor with the economy of Nigeria, the question is what will be done to make sure that many Nigerians have opportunity. Palliative continue to be distributed in Yobe State to households in 6 of the 17 local government. The question is what happened to the rest of the other local government? I'm sure many will be asking. Strike. Organized private sector are now begging President Bola Tinubu, the Nigerian Labour Congress, to pity Nigerians. It reminds me of Timaya says, politicians pity Nigeria. The organized private sector of the Nigeria has urged President Bola Tinubu's government and the Nigerian Labour Congress to factor in the well-being of more than 200 million Nigerians and avert the strike plan for October 3rd. It said the two should work together in the interest of the nation's economy, which the strike would definitely bring a lot of problems. On Tuesday, the NLC have announced that October 3rd will be a total shutdown from the airport to other places, but the declaration followed the expiration of a 21-day ultimatum earlier. We hope President Bola Tinubu will return back to Nigeria and deal with the problems, because that is the reason why he was actually brought in, to fix the problem, not to run away from the problem, stay somewhere in France without no reasons. And many Nigerians would like to know. Let me take you straight now to what is trending on the social media this morning. Once again, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we continue to ask, why many Nigerians are bitter when it comes to the current situation of things. There's so many reasons why Nigerians are bitter. They've also put their anger right inside many other Nigerians. As I can tell you right now, coming live from Abuja, the vice president currently in charge of the country while the president is away, have arrived at the banqueting hall of the presidential villa in Abuja to attend a public lecture and symposium to mark Nigeria's 63rd independent anniversary with the team, actualizing the vision of the renewed hope for social economic development through effective development through effective leadership. Well, I'm sure Buhari did 8 years, and I'm sure so many of these kind of statements was presented to us. But we now know that Buhari failed, not just the economy, failed in security, failed in protecting Nigerians. And as we go straight into that, we now touch on some other things as well. Momo says Nigerian politician did Saudi Arabia and Qatar have the same oil. Nigerians' oil is even sweeter than their sweet crude. Oil derailed the progress of this country is a question by Dotman, but Momo say Nigerian politicians did what the Saudi Arabia and the Qatar have the same oil. As we go straight, let's go. Simon Ekpa, always remember to stay 1 kilometer away from Nigeria State and the Federal Secretariat in Biafra. This is coming from the government in exile of the Biafra. As we go straight to see what is happening more. 99% oppressed. Operation Name and Shame the worst bank in Nigeria. Wow. I'm sure we remember some of the banks here until the government actually intervened. When you want to use a different bank, you are being charged, and all that have stopped here in the UK. But I'm sure in Nigeria, many will name different banks, but we won't name those banks. We'll probably leave that for our listeners to decide. I'm going to take a couple of more from the thread of this morning. Yorubanese remember Chief Obad Adedeji Ogunde. He was an actor, a playwright, a theater manager, a musician who founded the first contemporary professional theater company in Nigeria. These are some of the brains that we have in the Yoruba. Ogunde married more than 10 wives. I'm not sure anyone want to try that this time around. He hadn't married those wives for any reason. He actually married them so that they can work with him in his theater project. He joined the Nigerian police force in 1941 in Ibadan till 1943. The police force then posted him to Dental Police Station in Putemeta, where he joined the African Initiated Church, the Church of the Lord Aladura in Lagos, where he created an amateur drama group, the African Music Research Party, in 1945. He died at the age of 73. So the question is, as we say all the time, he was born on the 10th of July, 1916. Many will say he actually was born just as Nigeria was amalgamated in 1914. Announcing his death on the 4th of April 1990 in London, England, precisely at the age of 73. May so rest in peace. And these are some of the icons and some of those that started what we call theater that many have now used to move forward. Let's talk about one more, and I'm going to come back again to you. And that is going to be the reactions of Nigerians on why the president has not returned back. Well, it's unfortunate that we can't see my images. I'll see if I can have this. If somebody is actually, Nigerians are very, very interesting individuals and human beings. There is a maize as a human being, then roasting another maize. So you can think of that. And there's another maize that is now, putting a little bit of air to keep the fire burning. So we have 3 maize. Mm-hmm. One is the one that is rolling the maize, mm-hmm. which is another maize, mm-hmm. and there's another one that is putting a bit of air to it. Well, Tinubu is busy commodifying the naira. See how he's doing it. Well, interesting. There's another one with a skit maker that is very popular in Nigeria, and sometimes the reaction also comes. She una see in do surprise stuff for France. I wonder who he really wants to surprise. Well, maybe he has to just stay in France and recharge and come back home. Someone says he's actually helping the Chicago University to hide his academic record. Another one said the man expressly said he will continue from where Buhari stopped. So how is this a news? STARR Radio UK, 11:52. I will come back again to you in the studio.
Listeners, STARR Radio UK. My sincere apologies for us not being able to bring you the image from the North London studios. As I said, it's due to an update thing that if we touch it now, we'll lose Olayemi Koiki's voice. So we have to just go on with it. But it's quite an interesting submission presentation there this afternoon. But this morning, my apologies for that. Now, but if the president, at least the spokesperson should tell you if he's taking a break.
Oh, well, I think they're just trying to avoid all that now because, if he's taking a break, the more question will be asked whether, he hasn't done even a year and he's already taking the break. So they'll rather not say anything. And then when he's about to fully return, then they will release a statement.
But I think, when is the Nigerian Independence Day?
Back before the first, it will be very, I'm not too sure if the president will be spending the first time of his tenure outside when the independence is just this weekend. And today's Thursday, so that means in less than 72 hours, the president should return. And if he's going to return, he has to return on time. That means whatever he's doing, he has to leave France on Saturday. So we might get probably a statement tomorrow from Ajuri Ngelale.
Okay. Listeners, we'll be having that statement tomorrow, God willing, and we'll be seeing Mr. Olayemi Koiki's face, lovely as he is. I'm the only person seeing him this morning. It's unfortunate that you cannot see him as well. But let me say thank you very much for this wonderful update as well.
Thank you so much.
Okay then, so we'll catch up later. Bye.
All right, thank you, me. So, Odi, take care, everyone. Bye for now.